They even arrive in their own body bag. What's inside the newest Horror Pack subscription service? Let me just break down the 411 on Horror Pack. Every single month, Horror Pack will deliver to you a selection of horror titles. 4 to be exact. You can either get it in a Blu-ray format or you can get it in a DVD format. Heck, you could get both delivered to your door every single month. I myself choose the route of going Blu-ray personally, but again, if you are somebody that still collects DVDs, and sometimes actually even with the Horror Pack, it's beneficial to go about both routes. Get the DVD format, get the Blu-ray format, because after all, there are many horror titles out there that are still exclusive to DVD and have not yet charted the waters of the Blu-ray format. So again, it's probably a good idea to even pick up both. But nonetheless, we're going to go ahead and cut open this body bag, revealing the body and corpse inside of 4 horror titles. And of course, you guys can let me know down below in the comment section if you've seen any of the following titles that we're going to be revealing thus far. And you guys can let me know what you guys think of them. In order to, of course, open this up, we're going to need ourselves a knife. I'm going to use Chet Cunnington III. No coincidence that it happens to be the same color as the body bag. Let's go ahead and get to cutting. Now, I did notice one thing about this. I don't know. It feels like there could be something else in there. I see there's 4 titles. Well, I don't physically see them, but I would imagine there's 4 titles in there. But I feel like there's something else in there as well. A lurking dark spirit that I'm going to unearth and unleash to the world. I certainly hope that's not going to be the case. Well, it doesn't look like there's anything else in there. Of course, if there was a ghoulish spirit, I would have unleashed it, and I wouldn't have been able to see it either. I may have smelt it. I know sometimes you can smell demons. Some foul demons, at least. I certainly don't see anything. Wait, what's that behind me? I'm just kidding. I shouldn't really kid about something like that. The first thing we're going to have a look at is a release of Carrie, starring Sissy Spacek and John Travolta. A Blu-ray and DVD format. None of which, actually, I don't even think I have Carrie. I know I have Carrie on DVD. I don't think I actually have Carrie on Blu-ray, so this is perfect. I don't even recognize this cover either. It probably is a newer release, a Brian De Palma film. Carrie, it's one of those films that's certainly one of those movies that if you see it on TV, there's some considerable editing and splicing of things that they do. If anybody has seen the opener of Carrie in the shower scene, there's a lot of stuff that they have to sort of mask off. And if you ever watch Carrie on TV, obviously they can't cut that scene completely because that scene is relevant to the movie. So they do this weird job, and I've seen this a couple of times already, where they sort of blur out. They almost like paint out all the things around the characters that are walking, so of course you don't see anything. Really, really strange. Can you guys think of any other circumstances where you've seen a movie on TV that has been so heavily cut, or edited in such a way? Sometimes audio usually is the thing that they change the most, where the audio just doesn't make any sense at all. On the back, though, it says, all hell breaks loose when a tortured misfit teenager, starring Sissy Spacek, unleashes her secret telekinetic powers against her psychotic mother, played by Piper Laurie, who was also in the movie The Faculty. Great, great movie. And sadistic classmates. Based on the best-selling Stephen King novel, this ultimate revenge fantasy is one of the all-time great horror classics. Yes, and certainly it is. The Rage Carrie 2, not so good. And the remake of Carrie, didn't like that either. DVD features include acting Carrie documentaries Sissy Spacek, Amy Irwin, Betty Buckley, and more. Visualizing Carrie documentary with Brian De Palma and more. Carrie the Musical featurette. Wait, there's a Carrie the Musical. Animated photo gallery, Stephen King and the evolution of Carrie biography, and original theatrical trailer. I'm curious as to actually when this was released. Obviously, the main release date was 1976, which would have been 2 years prior to my birth. And it was released, according to this, 2018. I don't recognize, again, this cover. Very interesting. I like the way that they've done Carrie all in blood. That's very, very cool. So I'm looking already. I mean, that sets the bar pretty high, I would have to say. Again, I don't have Carrie on Blu-ray, so that's perfect. I can add that to my library. I feel that set the bar, again, quite high. Pulling out the next featured title inside, another mainstream title, we have Lights Out, which I actually think I do have Lights Out already on Blu-ray. From producer James Wan, director of The Conjuring. Lights Out was one of those movies, it followed the formula, that classic spiritual formula of some ghoulish creature that has a backstory to it. And there's certain rules that you have to follow so that the ghoulish ghoul doesn't get you. This one happened to be the fact that the lights always had to stay on. If the lights turned off, this spiritual entity cast in shadows would be coming towards you. You turn the lights back on, well, you get the idea. Not a bad movie. Lights Out wasn't a terrible movie. It just sort of was meh. Just sort of... It followed again the same horror tropes that all the other Conjuring-style movies followed. And I guess to that extent, it wasn't terrible, but it was sort of just okay. You guys have seen Lights Out, let me know in the comment section down below. The read-up says, growing up, Rebecca never knew what lay behind the terror lurking in the dark. When she left home, she thought she'd also left her fears behind. Now her little brother Martin is experiencing the same unexplained and terrifying event that once tested her sanity, a supernatural entity with a connection to her mother's past and haunting them. As Rebecca gets closer to discovering the truth, her life and the lives around her are in danger once the lights go out. I added the dun-dun-dun part. Special feature includes deleted scenes. I always feel like if a movie doesn't come packed with, at least default, a trailer, I feel really disappointed. Deleted scenes are fine and good. Alternate ending is fine as well. But do you have to throw the trailer in there? I feel like that's a requirement. After all, it's always the same thing that happens in my household. Whenever I've watched a movie with my other, I sit down and I always say I'm going to watch the trailer afterwards. And it always is the case. Because I like to see what the movie looks like, obviously watching the movie in its entirety. And then I always like to see what the trailer was. How they took some of those scenes, mixed it together with music, maybe some narrative, and gave us a trailer. So I always like to see a trailer afterwards. I would be rather disappointed to see here that Lights Out comes with no trailer. Anyways. The release date on this, first of all, it's 81 minutes in length, and I feel it's in the later 20s to 2000 series. I don't see what... Oh, 2016, there we go. 2016, that's coming up to 5 years ago. Sometimes you blink and you don't realize until you actually look at the release date on these movies how long ago it was. I mean, I bought this in a store right after it came first released. That would have been, I guess, a couple of years ago. How about that? The next thing we have inside the horror pack is The Barn, a horror pack limited edition Blu-ray. I've heard a lot of interesting things about The Barn. And perhaps, again, I'm shooting this, though you guys aren't aware of this right now. I'm recording this all right now on Halloween. Not Halloween Eve, not Halloween after, Boxing Day Halloween. There's no such thing. I'm actually recording this on Halloween. I was trying to think to myself, what would I watch? What would be a definitive movie to watch for Halloween? Well, up to this point, I've already gone through all of the Halloween movies starring one Michael Myers and Halloween 3. I'm up to now Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. And I'm really debating whether I even want to watch that. Yes, I feel like I'm somewhat of a completionist where I want to watch all the movies, but leaving Halloween 2 by Rob Zombie as the movie for Halloween night, I feel like I'm doing myself a disservice as a fan of Halloween. I'm going to have to think of something else. Maybe I will watch The Barn. What's The Barn all about? Let's read the back. The Barn is a love letter to everything that there's to love and fear on Halloween. A must-watch midnight movie. An undeniable fun 80s horror throwback. Well, that all sounds promising. Dread Central's top best 5 horror films of 2016 is Halloween 1989. And best friends Sam and Josh, played by Mitchell Mussolini and Will Stout, are trying to enjoy their last Devil's Night before graduating high school. Trouble soon arises, though, when the two pals and a group of friends, Lexi Drips, Cortland Woodard, how many more times I should say that, Nikki Darling, and Nicholas Joshua, all the actors, by the way, playing those friends, take a detour, of course they do, on the way to a rock concert, finding an old abandoned barn and awakening the evil inside. That's not good. They find the Boogeyman, Hollowed Jack, I like the name of that, the Candy Corn Scarecrow. Those are all clever names. Now it's up to Sam and Josh to find a way to protect their friends and defeat the creatures that lurk within the barn. Featuring appearances by Scream Queen, Linnea Quigley from Night of the Demons and Return of the Living Dead. And let me also throw in there as well, she was Denise from Silent Night, Deadly Night. Denise is trying to scare me. I'm going to kill her. She was the one, of course, suspended by the antlers. Let's see here. Linnea Quigley. I always have a tough time saying her name. Ari Lehman from Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th. Oh, he was Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th. He was the original drowning Jason Voorhees, the one that splashes up, I believe, at the end of Friday the 13th, the very first one. He is technically the very first Jason Voorhees. And killer original score by Rocky Gray. So again, the release date on this was 2016. The runtime for this is 80 minutes. It's kind of hard to see. It was right there, 80 minutes. You never know, I might actually watch this. This may possibly even be a Halloween tradition to watch this every single year. I'll definitely give that a watch. One thing that will not make a Halloween tradition, I think, every single year, viewer devious will of course know this, is trick or treats. No, not Trick or Treats, and certainly not Trick or Treat, the one that had the Rock connection. But I'm talking about Trick or Treats. Check it out on Tubi. Expect to be disappointed. It's a terrible movie. Worst kid in all of theatrical films. I stamp my name to that. Worst kid ever. And then last and certainly not least, sort of rounding out the bouts, we have Dead Dicks. Interesting name for a title of a movie. Starring Heston Horwin, Julian Harris, and Matt Keys. The back says, brutally honest, startlingly insightful and poignant. An ingenious and imaginative slice of genre cinema, a Cronenberg-infected science fiction piece. Richie is a suicidal young man who, every time he kills himself, finds himself very much alive, but with a dead body of him in his apartment. His sister comes to the rescue, but as the bodies pile up, the pair think that a vagina-like opening in Richie's bedroom might hold the answer. Wow! Not the read-up I was certainly expecting to see. Special features include director's commentary, behind-the-scenes featurettes, video diaries, Zoom with cast and crew, trailer, and photo gallery. Release date on this, I seem to always stumble first on the running time. The running time for this is 83 minutes, and the release date on this is 2020. This is pretty new. This came out this year. This will be interesting, just alone for the title and the read-up on the back. Let's again have a look at the titles. Packed inside this pack of horror delight for, I guess, October 2020. We had a look at Dead Dicks. We had a look at The Barn. It's going to be interesting to check that one out. Lights Out and Carrie. All solid titles. If you've seen any one of these titles, let me know down below in the comments section what you guys think of it. Which is your favorite? Maybe you've seen all four of them. And let me know what you guys think of The Barn. Is that worth a watch? Also, being that this is Halloween Day, which will then lead into Halloween night, and it's irrelevant because you probably aren't going to see this until a couple of days later, what was the Halloween movie you decided to settle on for this Oh Hallows Eve 2020? I'd like to read your comments down below. I wonder how many people will have actually said, I decided against your best wishes to go and check out Trick or Treats. And I really feel now disappointed that I did. I hate you for suggesting it. I never suggested it. I never did. I never once said it. I said avoid it at all costs. Avoid it like the plague. You went against those wishes, those hopes of mine, and you still decide to watch it. It's your own fault. I'm washing my hands completely of this. Don't wash your hands of certainly this channel. How's that for a segue? If you are new to this channel and liking the content you're seeing, consider the idea of hitting that subscribe button down below and, of course, moving on over to that bell notification. It's clean and sanitary. Don't worry, other people have touched it, but I always clean that bell after everybody is finished with it. Hit that bell notification as a friendly reminder so when new videos are coming up to this channel, you'll always get those friendly reminders. And sort of as a friendly reminder as well, just know that Monday to Friday, 12 p.m. and 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when you'll find new videos popping up on this channel. Lots of stuff coming your way, guys. So as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.